Hello, David Healy here at Total Composure. In this video I'd like to introduce you to a new sample library that Total Composure provided scripting and UI design for. The library is called Cinematic Tension FX. The samples were recorded by Grammy-nominated arranger, composer and woodwind musician Frank Macchia. The library has received fantastic reviews from composers including John Ottman and Tyler Bates. It runs inside the full version of Kontakt 4.2 and above, and will provide a 15-minute demo when using the free Kontakt player. Each sound in the library is an event that can add tension or ambience to an existing scene. They are not intended to be used as instruments in the traditional musical sense, but to enhance a soundscape as a form of musical sound design. Although you generally won't use cinematic tension effects for playing musical phrases, some of the patches are more musical and can be used for that purpose. Cinematic tension effects is essentially two instruments that can be morphed together over time. The user interface is split down the middle. The left side controls one sample set, and the right side controls another. The modwheel, or continuous controller 1, controls the morphing features and blends the left side with the right side. There are 25 sample sets included, covering a wide range of sonic effects produced by various instruments. You can switch sample set easily by selecting one from the drop-down menu. The controls on the interface are very straightforward. All the controls on the left side apply to the sample set selected in the menu on the left side, and the controls on the right side apply to the sample set selected on the right side. At the top of each set of controls is a standard Adsr envelope. Underneath we have a volume slider, a pitch slider that changes the tune of any samples that are going to play, or any that are playing, and a distortion effect. All of these controls can be reset to their default values by holding Control on a PC or Command on a Mac and clicking on the control. The controls can also be automated or controlled using a hardware controller by right-clicking and selecting Learn MIDI CC Automation, and then by moving the controller. There I'm controlling the distortion via the modwheel. Under Sample Set you have a drop-down menu to choose the sample set that will play. Beneath that is a preset section. Over here there is a button called FX Controls. Clicking that will take you to an extended effects panel. The delay and reverb effects, up at the top here, apply to the whole instrument. They are not split left and right. The HPF and LPF stand for high pass filter and low pass filter, and these are split to the left and right. You can bypass all the effects applied by clicking the bypass effects button here. This is good when you're trying out different sample sets and effects combinations and you want to do an A/B comparison. To get back to the main panel, just click the Effects Controls button again. The Bypass Effects button is also available on this panel. To make it even easier to find your way around the user interface, we've added some tooltips. By going to the full view of Kontakt here, and I go to the FX control panel, and I put the mouse over one of the delay controls, down at the bottom it says Delay Time. This one says Damping, this one says Panning, and that one says Feedback. This is to give you an idea of what some of the controls do if it's not quite clear. We haven't included this on the Adsr because that's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. The instrument has the facility to save the changes you make as a preset. To do that, you select a preset number from the preset drop-down menu, and then you click the Save button underneath. Any previous settings on this preset number will be overwritten. Now I'll do a quick demonstration. First I'll go back to preset 1, and now I'll make some changes to the controls on the interface. Now I'll click Save. I'm going to reset all the controls now, and then we'll look at reloading the preset. There are two methods to recall a preset. The first is to select the preset from the drop-down menu and press Load underneath. You can see all the controls update to their saved values. I've just loaded a blank preset to reset the values again. The second method to recall presets is to use key switches. If we look at the Contact keyboard, the red keys are used to switch between the first 10 presets on the left hand side of the instrument. The green keys are for the presets on the right hand side. There are 16 presets altogether, and these keys control the first 10. When using these, you don't need to press the load button. If I was to close this instrument now and reopen it, all the presets would be gone. They don't save within the instrument. In order to save the presets permanently so they can be recalled in a later session, we have to resave the instrument, either as a new instrument or overwriting the current one. Doing this also allows us to have an almost unlimited number of presets. If I go to the full Contact interface, select File, Save As, and select the instrument name, I can now save over the previous instrument, or I can save a new instrument. I'll save a new one. Do that simply by entering a new name. And on the interface we can see the name also changes. That's to show that we have the new instrument loaded. If I now load up the original instrument as well, you'll see, if I click Load on preset 1, that our settings aren't there. This is because this is the original instrument and we haven't saved the presets for it. If I go to our current one, our new instrument, and click Load, all the controls update. The presets function is useful when you find a combination of effects and samples you really like. It prevents you having to remember those settings and entering them again every time you want that sound. And because we have the dynamic key switches as well for some of the presets, it allows you to switch sample sets during live playback of a sequence. We've looked at the key switches on the keyboard, the red and the green keys. Now we'll have a look at the blue keys. These keys show the playable notes of the instrument. It's important to note that the playable range makes use of the keyboard's extended range and has playable notes from C7 to C8. You can see them if you click the Transpose button on the Contact keyboard interface. If your MIDI keyboard has a transpose feature, you can also use that to access the extended key range. Many of the sounds have been mapped across several keys. This makes it much easier to find the sound or event that will work in the musical key your project is in. The majority of the sounds are of an orchestral nature, and the guitar effects are very striking and useful for less orchestral, more modern scores, although all the sounds can be used in almost any context. I'm going to briefly go through some of the samples and explain more about the morphing features. There are far too many different options for me to cover all the sounds available in this one video. So you'll have to try them out for yourself and find out all the subtle details. And once we start adding effects to the sounds, the possibilities really do seem unlimited. I'm only playing the sounds on the left hand side of the interface at the moment. The piano sample set has some chromatically mapped samples, and this allows some melodic playing. Let's take a look at some of the morphing features now. I'm going to select Guitar Maniac on the left hand side, and on the right hand side I'm going to select Ethnic Flute. Using the mod wheel, you can see it move here, I'm going to morph between the left hand side and the right hand side. Some of the samples are looped and allow you to morph back and forth continuously. I'm going to switch the Ethnic Flute sample now for the Guitar Maniac sample, but the reversed version. I'm now going to play through a few of the combinations, making use of the morphing features, and I'm going to play around with some of the controls and effects, so you can hear just a small sample of what's available, but really I won't be able to do this vast library justice in just one video. You can see that's just a small handful of the many possibilities that you have with this instrument, and you can really hear the tension that it creates when you morph between the two different sound sets, especially if they're really contrasting sounds, when you have a deep dark sound and a brighter sound. And the controls, especially the pitch, can really help to shape the whole tonality of the entire effect. That's pretty much it for this video. If you want to hear what this sounds like in action, have a listen to Frank's demos on SoundCloud. The link is on your screen now. These demos only use the Cinematic Tension Effects library and a Valhalla Hall reverb. They were made to convey the basic sound palette of the library. Cinematic Tension Effects was created in collaboration with Sampleism and Total Composure. The library is available exclusively at sampleism.com via the link on your screen now. This link, also along with a link to the SoundCloud demos, is available in the video description on YouTube. You can also find Sampleism on Facebook. Again, the link is in the video description. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the Total Composure YouTube channel. Also check out Sampleism's YouTube channel. If you have any questions, comments or queries, please post them in the comment box below the YouTube video and I'll get back to you. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.